I thought I was being brave when I said yes to the camera. Not sexy. Not daring. Just brave. The kind of brave you tell yourself you have to be when your husband says the spark is fatting, and you're 6 months postpartum and can't remember the last time you wore a bra that wasn't built for nursing. He said it would help. That it'd be just for us. That maybe if I saw myself the way he sees me, I'd remember I was still me. And like an idiot, I believed that. But let me back up, because if you just heard the end of this story, you'd assume I was naive. Maybe desperate, maybe dumb. But I was none of those things. I was tired. I was trying. I was married to a man I trusted with my body and my baby and my whole damn future. I met Mark at a community fundraiser when I was 26. He was the MC, funny, confident, a little too into his own voice, but in a way that made the room light up. He told me later, he watched me all night before he finally walked up. Said he liked that I laughed with my whole face. We got married fast, barely a year in. Moved into a small beige house in the kind of suburb where everyone waves, but no one really talks. Got a rescue dog. Started trying for a baby after year 2. And by the time I was pregnant, I'd convinced myself we were a team. Not a perfect team, but the kind that tag teams dishes and remembers to buy oat milk and sends dumb memes during work hours. We made it through labor together. The sleepless nights. The cracked nipples. The arguments about who was more tired. And when our daughter finally started sleeping through the night, I thought maybe, just maybe, we could start sleeping together again too. But it wasn't that simple. Because my body wasn't mine yet. I still had stretch marks that looked like claw marks across my belly. I still bled randomly. Still winced when he touched me too suddenly. And he tried at first. He'd make soft comments like, "You're still beautiful, babe." But over time, I saw it in his face, the way he hesitated before undressing, the way he scrolled past the lingerie ads he used to send me. Then one night, after we'd put the baby to bed and he poured me a glass of wine I hadn't asked for, he said, "What if we filmed something? Just for us. No pressure. Just to remember who we are." I stared at him. Like a sex tape. He shrugged. Like a memory. I laughed, thought he was joking. But he was dead serious. Said it wasn't about porn. Said it was about intimacy. Said couples do this kind of thing all the time and maybe it would help us reconnect. And maybe if I could watch it back, I'd stop hating my own reflection so much. That part got me. Because it was true. I hated how I looked. How I moved. How I felt like a ghost in my own body. So I said yes. I showered. I shaved. I even put on the one bra that still made my boobs look like they belonged to someone under 40. He lit candles. Set his iPhone up on a little flexible tripod on the nightstand. We didn't say anything while it recorded. No dirty talk. No moaning for the camera. Just us. Awkward, quiet, a little clumsy. But also real. And when we were done, he kissed my forehead and said, "That was beautiful." He watched the video that night while I slept. I woke up to his side of the bed empty and the blue glow of his screen across the room. He said it helped him feel close to me. And again, I believed him. Over the next few months, it became a ritual. Maybe once every 2 weeks. He'd set up the phone, I'd try to feel desirable again, and we'd reconnect in the only way I knew how. By pretending I wasn't exhausted and broken and terrified he didn't want me anymore. We even got creative with it. Different rooms. Different lighting. One time I wore a little silk robe and heels I hadn't touched since the baby shower. He was gentle. Always asked first. Never pushed. And because he never said anything cruel, I thought it meant he wasn't doing anything cruel. I thought silence meant safety. Until the day my ex-coworker, Talia, messaged me out of the blue with a screenshot attached. The message said, "Please tell me this isn't you." And the image? A paused frame from OnlyFans. The title, The Real Housewife Next Door, Postpartum Playdate Ep. 3. The woman in the frame. Hair half-tied. One breast partially exposed. Stretch marks barely blurred. Knees pressed to the bed in a way I instantly recognized. Because I was the one kneeling. At first, I didn't move. I just sat there on the couch, holding my phone like it might explode. The baby monitor hissed softly next to me. My legs were numb. My jaw was locked. I didn't even blink. The photo didn't lie. That was me. That was my body. My bed. My trauma. And someone out there was paying for it. My mind tried to make sense of it. I tried to rewrite it in real time. Maybe it was leaked. Maybe someone hacked him. Maybe he never uploaded it on purpose. Maybe. But no. I zoomed in on the top of the screenshot. There it was, clear as day. Posted by @Mark After Dark. New drop every Friday, 9 p.m. EST. As schedule. This wasn't a mistake. It was a damn content calendar. My ears started ringing. I stood up too fast and nearly fell over. I opened my phone browser and typed, "How to find OnlyFans creator without subscribing." It didn't matter. I had the name. I had the link. I had the rage. I clicked. Page loaded. @Mark After Dark. 42,187 likes. Married dad, real housewife, real footage, no fakes. There were dozens of posts. Some short clips. Some previews with blurred thumbnails. Some full-length videos. And the captions. "She thinks it's just for us." Caught her in one of those moods. No makeup, no filter, just raw and wrecked. I was shaking so hard I dropped my phone. I bent to pick it up and saw something I hadn't noticed before. Pinned post. A compilation of fan-favorite moments. The cover image. Me. On all fours. Eyes glazed. From the night I'd told him I didn't feel like myself, but I'd try anyway. He called it Mommy Meltdown Special. I ran to the bathroom and threw up in the sink. Not the toilet, the sink. Because that's how fast my body revolted. After I'd rinsed my mouth, I sat on the cold tile, back against the wall, and texted him one word. "Calls me now." Nothing. I texted again. "I saw it, you sick F***." Still nothing. I FaceTimed. He declined. Again. Declined. I stood, wiped my face, and called his office line. His assistant answered. "He's in a meeting. Can I take a..." Tell him his wife just found his porn empire. I'm driving to his job unless he calls me in 5 minutes. Click. I waited. 4 minutes, 39 seconds later, my phone rang. His voice was quiet. "Hey. Hey. Hey." I lost it. What the actual hell, Mark? You filmed me and sold it? You posted me? Are you out of your fucking mind? Silence. "I can explain," he mumbled. Explain what? How you turned our sex life into your fucking side hustle? How you monetized my postpartum breakdowns? I didn't think you'd ever find it. That broke me. I laughed loud, sharp, cracked. Oh, so it's fine because I wasn't supposed to know. Like I'm some dumb background actor in your amateur porn career. It was meant to help us. Help us, you posted my body. People loved it, they said it felt real. I nearly blacked out. That was the worst year of my life, Mark. I was bleeding. I was numb. I thought I was failing as a mom and a wife. And you filmed me during that and called it authentic. You what? You thought trauma made for better thumbnails. He finally went quiet. I ended the call before he could say anything else. Then I blocked him on everything. Because in that moment, I knew this wasn't just betrayal. This was theft of my image, my agency, my grief. And worst of all, he never once looked ashamed. I didn't sleep that night. I sat in the living room, every light off except for the glow of my laptop screen, scrolling through his OnlyFans like I was studying for a bar exam I never wanted to pass. Every click felt like setting fire to a part of me I couldn't get back. There were comments from subscribers, thousands of them. Men asking for more natural lighting and raw footage. People rating the sound quality of my orgasms. One guy said he liked how exhausted I looked. Another called me wifey material. Does she have a sister? It was my body, my face, my suffering reduced to content. And then I found the worst one. A clip titled, "She cries halfway through and keeps going." That was from the night I'd broken down after my mom died. The night I said I just needed to feel held, to feel safe again, to feel wanted, and he kissed me and said, "Let's make love, it'll help." He filmed that, uploaded that, framed it as arousing. My stomach turned, but I kept watching. Not because I wanted to, but because I had to know how far he went. Answer: too far. He had merch. Freaking merch. The Real Housewife Next Door mugs. T-shirts with my blurry silhouette. A hoodie that read, "She does know yet." I couldn't scream because the baby was asleep. So I just sat there, rage vibrating in my bones. Mouth open, eyes dry. At 4:12 a.m., I made a decision. If he was going to turn me into a character, into a real wife fantasy for the internet, then I was going to be the one to narrate her story. Not just whisper it to a lawyer or sob it into a support group. No. Public, loud, unforgiving. So I opened YouTube. Created a fresh account. Channel name, Reacting Wife. I chose a basic banner. A red background with a hand holding scissors, mid-snip on a pair of lacy underwear. I had no gear. No plan. No media training. But I had something better. Receipts. I hit record on my laptop's webcam. Stared straight into the camera. And I said, "Hi, my name is Kate. I didn't sign up to be an internet fantasy. But here I am, apparently the Real Housewife next door. So today, we're gonna watch what my husband secretly filmed, without my consent, and uploaded to OnlyFans, along with his delusions." I paused, held up a screenshot of the merch store, smiled with all my teeth. Let's begin. I walked through it clip by clip. I blurred everything. Added sarcastic commentary. "Oh look, here I am crying again." But don't worry, he added soft music this time. "Thanks for that, Mark, super tasteful." I didn't cry once. Didn't raise my voice. I was surgical. Cold. Precise. Lethal. I uploaded the video with the title. My husband made me a porn star without telling me. I went to bed with a knot in my chest. By 7:00 a.m. 18,000 views. By 9:00 a.m. My best friend just called me and said, breathless, "You're everywhere. Reddit, TikTok, Twitter, BuzzFeed." Someone posted a clip with the caption, "She's not a victim, she's a damn creator now." People weren't just watching. They were angry for me. Some of them recognized the content. Others said they paid for it and never realized it was without consent. And just like that, his subscribers started dropping. One even emailed me directly. I unsubscribed. I didn't know. "I'm so sorry." I wasn't looking for apologies. I was looking for power. And for the first time in months, I felt a pulse of it in my chest. He tried to silence me by never asking. By assuming I'd never look. Never speak. Never fight back. But now, I had a camera too. By the end of that week, 3 things happened almost at once. I got an email from a lawyer. My sister stopped speaking to me. I passed 100,000 subscribers on YouTube. The lawyer's email wasn't subtle. The subject line read, "Immediate cease and desist regarding defamatory content." Mark had hired a firm. Not a real one, not like Prestige Legal Team Real, but one of those discount online ones that defend YouTubers who say vaccines cause lizard bobbies. Their letter was dramatic. "You are willfully engaging in defamation, emotional abuse, copyright infringement, and targeted harassment of your spouse." They included screenshots of my thumbnails, quoted sarcastic timestamps from my videos, and accused me of public endangerment of reputation. Reputation. The man had filmed my body without consent and made money from my grief, and they were concerned about his reputation. I laughed loudly in Starbucks, with foam on my lip. Then I posted the letter. Titled the next video. "He tried to silence me. Here's the cease and desist." Thumbnail, me holding the printed letter with the caption, "My face isn't blurred, but your career is." It went viral. Again. But this time, it hit something deeper. The comments weren't just from women. Men started showing up too. Sons, husbands, fathers. Some horrified that they'd subscribed to his page without knowing. Others just thanking me for teaching them what silence actually costs. But not everyone was on my side. My sister sent a text. "You've always loved attention. Now you're dragging the whole family down with you." One of the moms from daycare unfollowed me on Instagram, then posted a story about women who can't handle conflict without becoming influencers. I cried that night, not because I doubted myself, but because I hadn't expected the isolation to feel like this. The fame felt fake. The likes were fleeting. The people who used to drop off diapers or invite me to mom brunches were suddenly quiet. And I couldn't blame them, not really. They didn't want to believe this could happen. Not in our zip code. Not in yoga pants. Not between 2 smiling parents who brought gluten-free cupcakes to school events. But it did. And it was still happening. Because in the middle of all this, I found out something else. Mark hadn't just posted old videos. He'd scheduled content, drops from a drive he kept hidden. He'd automated it. He was so sure I'd never catch him that he'd set up passive income streams with my body, months in advance. I only discovered it because I got a Google alert on a new upload to the folder we used to share for grocery lists. Inside, a fresh video from 2 months ago, titled Silent Sunday, Unaware Series 6. My hands shook as I opened it. It was me, on the couch, wearing a nursing bra, scrolling my phone. No eye contact, just sitting. He'd placed a camera across the room. Hidden, zoomed in. No sound. Just 37 minutes of me existing. 37 minutes. No consent. Just monetized voyeurism. I didn't scream this time. I froze. That kind of freeze where your body disassociates from your brain because even your nerves are too exhausted to panic. I didn't cry. I didn't post. I just stared. And in that stillness, a thought formed, cold, clear, sharp as glass. If I keep reacting, I'm still letting him choose the game. So I made a new plan. Not a reaction video. Not another calling him out post. Something bigger. I started scripting a series. The Real Consent series. Each episode would break down a layer. Digital abuse in marriage. Intimacy under coercion. Hidden recordings and legal gray zones. Postpartum vulnerability and performative sex. How predators hide behind love. No rage. No swearing. Just surgical storytelling. I bought a mic. Rented a small podcast studio once a week. Wrote the scripts while nursing, while commuting, while my daughter napped with her stuffed giraffe. And when I was ready, I dropped the first episode. He called it content, I call it a crime. The thumbnail. Me finally centered, no blur. No bra. No shame. And the caption. This isn't revenge. It's education. For every woman who was told, you knew what you were doing. I didn't. But I do now. The video hit 1 million views in 72 hours. And suddenly, people stopped calling me dramatic. 3 days after I dropped the Real Consent series debut, I got a message I didn't expect. Not from a troll. Not from an influencer. Not from some man trying to correct my tone. It was from his ex. Her name was Lynn. We'd never met. I didn't even know he had a serious ex before me, but the message was unmistakably real. Hi, I just watched your latest video. I think we need to talk. He did the same thing to me. I stopped breathing. She attached a PDF. It was a court document. Filed in a different state. 7 years ago. Restraining order. Temporary but chilling. The cause. Invasion of privacy, unauthorized filming, sexual coercion. I sat on the floor and read the whole thing. He'd done this before. To another woman. Filed it away as a breakup. Never told me, never hinted. He just moved on, married me, waited for my guard to drop and started again. Suddenly everything clicked. The way he insisted on keeping old drives. The way he was so quick to suggest filming for us. The weird moment, I caught him watching our own video on mute while I vacuumed. He wasn't clueless. He wasn't just horny. He was a predator. With a process. And I'd been the sequel. I thanked her. Asked if I could share her story. She said yes, under one condition. Don't let him do this to someone else. Ever again. So I made a new video. But this time, I didn't start with hi. I started with this. My husband told me he'd never done this before. He lied. This isn't his first wife. This isn't his first betrayal. And if I don't speak louder, it won't be his last. The video was half her story, half mine. No faces, no names. Just facts. Evidence. 2 women connecting the dots that he'd tried so hard to scatter. And in the middle of it, I added something else. A call to action. If this happened to you. If you were filmed without knowing. Coerced into intimacy that ended up on someone's feed. Told to shut up, move on, or be embarrassed. I want to hear from you. We're building something. I created a site, realwiffareport.org. Simple design. Secure form. A resource hub. A place to submit stories, anonymously or not. By the end of the week, we had 114 submissions. Teachers. Nurses. Stay-at-home moms. Even a woman who worked at the same tech company as Mark. Turns out, he'd flirted with her too. Asked her to help him edit something personal on Final Cut Pro. She declined. He blocked her. So I did the one thing he never expected. I turned the lens. I stopped reacting. Stopped giving him air. Started showing women how to own their narratives before someone else weaponized them. I renamed the YouTube channel. From Reacting Wife to Visible. That's all I wanted, really. To be seen. Heard. Humanized. Not as fantasy. Not as fetish. But as a whole person who lived through betrayal and then built something from it. BuzzFeed called again. This time, they didn't ask for a follow-up interview. They asked if I'd host a limited docuseries. 7 episodes. Each one focused on a different woman. Each one exploring how digital betrayal hides in harmless jokes, flirty camera angles, and quiet power imbalances. We called it Blurred. It launches next month. And no, I don't know if I'm ready. I still flinch when I hear a tripod click. Still double-check the baby monitor to make sure it's not recording audio. Still can't look at old photos from our honeymoon without seeing a lie buried under every smile. But I do know this. He wanted to make me silent. Instead, I made myself undeniable. Do I feel victorious? Not really. Some nights, I still lie awake wondering what other clips are out there. Wondering if someone saved them. Wondering if my daughter will grow up and find them someday. But if she does, if one day she finds the footage, or the headlines, or the videos of me telling this story, I want her to know I didn't hide. I didn't shrink. And most importantly, I didn't stay blurred. Subscribe to my Mia's Stories YouTube channel for raw, emotional stories and authentic insights that encourage healing, growth, and understanding. Don't forget to be part of a supportive space where stories inspire and lessons resonate. What do you think about this story? Let us know in the comments. Your opinion truly matters to us, and we're here for you.